It's the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, we're going to talk to Vernon Wilhelm with Northside Mustang about the car show judging clinic. He's also got an event coming up, but I want to focus on that car show judging clinic.
Absolutely.
I mean, anybody that has ever gone to a car show would be interested in that. If you're a real car person.
For two aspects. One is
the judging aspect.
To be the judge.
But also to go to a car show and see what the judges are looking for, right. And then you can be your own judge, or you can take the information back to your club and say, look at this, we've got this, and I've got the info, I know how to do it, all of that sort of thing.
Why did he pick that one over that one?
Yeah,
what makes that one better?
That's right.
$20.
And we're also going to have the automotive news headlines this week. We got to get that in, by the way. Hey, thank you for joining us, along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us. It's a beautiful day here in Southeast Texas. Perfect for everybody. Got your glasses?
Yeah. Get the glasses.
Perfect
Where's my glasses?
And I'm going to tell you something. Inside, it's like looking at a black chalkboard right here in front of your eyes because you can't see a thing. But this is so you can look at the sun and see the eclipse that's going to happen at noon Central Time here in Southeast Texas. All right. Ready?
I wonder if Stevie Wonder needs these.
So Vernon is going to join us on his iPhone, apparently.
Yes.
Because he doesn't have any video.
Yeah, we're a little problem.
So you're going to have to look at us while we talk to Vernon. It's kind of like a phone call, not a video call.
It is a phone call.
It is a
phone
call. Okay. So at any
now
rate,
that you mention it.
Vernon Wilhelm, good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Northside Mustang Club. This is a Randy Weldon kind of a thing with Randy.
Randy's very involved in it.
Yeah.
He's involved in a lot of stuff.
Randy, well, you know, it's kind of like dandruff. It's really hard to get rid of.
There you go.
I don't know where
it's always there.
Got to have hair to have dandruff, Don. I'm out.
You're out. Well, no, you're not.
So is Randy.
So exactly. So you guys have an event coming up here pretty quick.
Yes, we got an event coming up on November 4th. Right now, we're right at about 80 vehicles already registered for the show. We expect probably at least that amount coming in. So we're probably looking at around 150 cars at this event is our hopes.
And what is the event? Is it strictly a Mustang event?
No, this is an open event. There's 45 classes all the way from, the Chevys, Dodge, imports, Fords, everything is there. We have a little bit of everything. Matter of fact, we even have a place for that electric car.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
So you got 45 classes. How many
It's
judges?
in the back, but they got a place for it.
How many judges are you using?
We'll probably have 10 to 12 judges at the show.
Good. And you're going to have them split up for specialty stuff, for this bunch of judges for these classes of cars, and then this bunch for a different class, that kind of thing?
Yes, we do not. The way that I set up these shows are a judge will only judge this one class, and he will judge the same class so that class is getting the fairness from one judge and his perspective of the vehicle throughout there. We don't have two people doing two different class or the same class. Otherwise, we get a little bit of range on personal preferences and things like that. So we try to keep that to the one judge throughout the entire show.
So if you've got 12 cars in the class, that means that one judge is going to have 11 guys going after him out of the parking lot because they
well, it's better than 125, though.
Well, there's that. I'm just teasing. I know how it works. Yeah, I get it. So that's going to be on November the 4th. Is that right?
Yes, from 9 till 2. We'll have the awards at 2. We actually have indoor parking. Indoor parking, when we put this on the website, in 2 weeks, the indoor parking was gone. We still have a little bit of covered parking left, and then we got all the outdoor parking.
And so where is it going to be held?
Bull Solace Park in New Caney.
Okay. Wow, they've got undercover parking and stuff like that, huh?
So basically,
yes.
Roughly the intersection of 99 and 69, kind of the northwest corner of that intersection.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
So, and I see that you just so happen to have a thing called the Northside Mustang Judging Clinic, and a clinic to learn how to judge a car at a car show. And as I mentioned, I don't know whether you heard it or not, but this would be good for anybody really to go to. If you're into cars, whether you're a judge of that car show or not, to gain the knowledge of what a judge looks for when he's judging a car. And obviously, there's all different ranges of judges. Some are particularly focused on antiques, classics, customs, those kind of specific people.
Categories.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But it would be good for anybody to go to.
But yeah, there's also, there is the training also, not besides just the stuff that you're looking for, whether it be cleanliness, workmanship, creativity, the stories behind the vehicle from the owners. But you're also, we want to go over the etiquette on how to judge a car. How do you correspond with the car owner? Those kind of things. You want to understand, how many miles has the guy driven his car? What does he put behind it? Those kind of things. We want to, understand when we talk to them, the story behind the car a little bit there. So and let them understand, introduce ourselves, make them understand what we've got going on, where and what we're going to be doing. And then of course, when you finish, you'll, thank him for bringing his car and, beautiful car, those kind of things, those are the kind of things. There's more to it than just the actual going out there and actually going over the car. I mean, because we want these people to continue coming back to these shows, and whether it's ours or anybody else's show, and they're not going to do that if, they're not treated fairly.
Well, I have to tell you that I'm a big fan of Wayne Carini. And I was watching, they had taken a car that he had into a very prestigious, I don't know whether it was Pebble Beach, one of those really prestigious shows. And one of the things that I had never experienced in all of my years of showing a car was the judges going up to Wayne and the actual owner of the car and the guy that prepared the car. And there was kind of like a little back and forth between them, and the guy that prepared the car and the owner were pointing out things to the judge. These are the things that I have done. I've taken particularly care of this sort of thing, and a little bit more about the car than the judge might have known.
The story behind
the story behind the car, where the car came from, all of the work that had been performed to the car prior to the show, the details, the paint, all of the things that was important to the car owner and the builder of the car for the judge, that they felt it was necessary for the judge to know. And I thought that was really something. I'd never experienced that personally when I showed my car.
I'm an MCA National Gold Card judge. And one of the first things I do at the national events, the first thing when I introduce myself and talk to them, I ask them if there's anything that's happened to the car on their trip, because it's unfair to judge, somebody gets a rock chip because they're coming down coming down the road to get to the show. They didn't have time to get those fixed. And you can tell by the type of car and what they do with the car, that this is not the norm for them. But you want to make sure that you're looking for those kind of things when you judge that car.
Well, at that, and the fact that, look, you don't know when you see the car and or the owner that what neither one of them have been through. This might be a Don Armstrong that's never been to a show. He's showing his car for the first time, and he's got the car locked up and the hood and the trunk closed like a moron because I didn't know.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
We always look at you.
Because I leave my trunk closed because my trunk's full of stuff.
Yeah.
We know that.
And what's piled on top?
And you're obviously feeling very guilty about it.
No, not at all. You have to have a conscience before it can feel guilty.
Well, I guess so. But, so Conrad really is not a judged car show kind of guy. And I've had to kind of guide him, at least roll down the windows, Conrad, so people can see inside, get all the crap out of the back seat, throw it in the trunk.
Organize the seat belts so they look nice.
That's it. Because you get those things when you go to a car show, but just like, well, how do I apply that to my car? Well, this is how.
Okay. And that's something that we talked to the owners. I might last car show up in Silsbee. Judging, there was an individual that brought his Jeep in and he didn't have the hood open. And I explained to him, went over with him and said, look, he goes, well, it's not clean. I said, well, lift the hood. You get some points. A closed hood gets you 0 points. An open hood, maybe you only come out instead of the 10 points, you only get 5 points or 6 points because you didn't get to that part of cleaning, but you still got some points.
Correct.
True. Yeah.
And not only that, but if you open the hood, if you've done nothing to it, it gets points just because it's a stock engine. It gets points.
And if you're,
Yes.
you have the desire to, you might actually go in there and clean it up a little bit so it looks a little bit better.
Get you some kerosene on a rag and go over the stuff.
Yeah, wipe the stuff off. But that also helps the show because people want to see what's he got under that hood.
Yeah.
And like if it's a Jeep and it's a little dirty, people look at it, it's a Jeep. It's supposed to be dirty.
Yeah. If it's got some off-road mud caked up underneath the hood, that's okay.
Yeah. From a spectator's perspective, so which all enhances the show as well as the judging.
I've actually seen a Jeep shown that it looked like it just came off the Rubicon with mud up and down the side
There
of
you go.
it. And then it's same thing under the hood.
Exactly.
And, I don't know whether they got points for that, but whatever the case may be, it certainly made the point that it's an off-road vehicle.
Yes. And they're the spectators, the kids, they're coming to see that kind of stuff and they'd rather see that dirt on the car on something like that.
Sure. It's no different really than an original car that has a very heavy patina on it because it sat out in somebody's backyard for 20 years,
Correct.
So Vernon, let me ask you this, because we've seen this. What happens when a guy shows up with a barn find, a true barn find, and he hasn't washed it? He wants to leave it exactly like he found it. And we ran across this with a Mustang one time down at the airport.
And Ellington, he still had cobwebs inside the Krager wheels. I remember that car.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is there a way to judge something like that other than just being in awe of the fact that it still exists?
Yeah, I mean that's another conversation you have with the owner, because the things that you're looking for on a show like that. I mean, it's almost you run into those shows that will have under registration or originals or things like that. It almost has to have the same class, because if you're not judging fairly across the board, it is really, really hard. But I'm like you, or that owner, because I also seen the car. I'm not changing it. I want it the way that it is,
right?
The way that I found it. And that's what. And he has to come to that understanding. I mean, it's a hard line.
So you would still judge it against its peers, because
for what it is,
and obviously then it's not going to do real well because he hasn't cleaned it up and stuff. But that's a personal choice.
But that's what Vernon talked about, was that interview of the owner gives you an insight to not necessarily how to judge the car, but what to judge the car for. Is that correct, Vernon?
Yes, and you got to look at somebody like that, to own a car like that. They're probably not really interested in winning that award so much as they are wanting to get their car and they're fine, because we all saw that car. I mean, he had all the write-ups on it, all the stuff. That was his award, of all those people coming by and looking at that car and what he found and what he has. That's
Yeah.
his real award.
And the real reward is what us talking about it how many years later, because it stood out to us as something that was truly remarkable and very different that you would never ever run across. At least I'd never in all of my career of looking at cars.
Vernon, and all of the shows that you've been a judge at, what vehicle stands out for you?
Well, I mean, of course, I look for not only, the cleanliness out of the car, but I look for that workmanship, that creativity in the car, what somebody has done to their car. Those kind of things are the things that stand out to me. What is a person, and even if you have a new car, there are people out there doing things to their new cars that you would not believe, and the creativity that they do to those cars and the things that they add to those cars. It takes you back. You get done with that judging, you go back. I can do this to my car, or I can do this. I mean, there's those things you take away.
Well, and one of the cars comes to my mind on that is Jason's Mustang. And I can't ever pronounce his last. Sakaro. Because Jason spent a lot of time and effort in dressing his car, and it's a relatively new generation Mustang, but he gets recognized for the work he's put into that car all the time at various shows. And that's kind of what you're talking about. It might not necessarily be that this is a one-of-one GT350 that was an SCCA competitor vehicle. It may be, this is one of, 6,000 that were built, but this owner took the time to dress it a certain way and present it a certain way, and you want to recognize them for their time and effort, not just the car itself.
Yeah, and that was the question I guess I was trying to ask is there a particular car that you fancy more than others?
Oh, I mean, I don't have one. I mean, because I got the 67 Fastback, but my favorite Mustang is a 69 Mach 1. I've always loved the car, and I still say to this day, I'm going to have one sooner or later, but, I got to convince my wife too.
There is that. Yeah, I think that every judge has got a favorite car. It may not be at that show, but, if it is at that show, as a judge, it's kind of like the sideline judge of a football game. You've got to be neutral in your perspective of the car and how you judge it.
Correct.
Yeah.
One of the things we were talking about for our November 4th show, we have, and here in Houston, and they signed up for our show. It is one of the 150 pre-production Mustangs that were built by Ford before the release date. It's he has a documentation on the car, and it's believed to be the first convertible Mustang built by Ford.
Oh, wow. What a piece that is.
Is he a local guy?
Yes, he's a local guy here in Houston.
Wow.
And he signed up for the show. So we look forward to seeing him and going. We had another individual that signed up for the show, and we talk about the history, and he just signed up for the show. He has a Chevy truck that he was his dad's, and now it's his, and he's been going through it, restoring and everything. But he took his first driver's test back in the 70s in this truck. He learned to drive in the truck.
Very nice.
And he still has it.
Well, Vernon, it's great to talk to you. We appreciate the time you spent with us this morning. So the judging clinic is October the 29th, and it's going to be held up in Magnolia. And Conrad's going to post all that information, I guess, on our Facebook page or put a link to it anyway. And then the big show for you guys is November 4th.
Yeah, so on that judging clinic, if anybody is interested in it, they need to look at that flyer, reach out to us, reach out to me, call me. I'll put them on the list because we plan on feeding everybody while they're there too.
Very nice. Again, Vernon, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you, sir.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You bet. Northside Mustang Club.
They are so active in the community doing all kinds of different stuff everywhere around town.
Ford Motor Company recalling select 2020 through 2022 Ford Explorer models because of a problem with a rear axle bolt that may fracture.
Just one.
That's all it would take.
There's more.
Yeah. They're built at the Chicago Assembly Plant between October 22nd 2018 and April 11th of 2022. Dealers will replace the defective rear axle mounting bolts with new parts free of charge. Ram 1500, 2500, 3500 from the model years 22 to 24. Rear view image may not display on the screen. Nissan Ariya for 2023 lost a drive power from the inverter software because of an error. Incorrectly adjusted headlights on the Mercedes-Benz A220, AMG GLA 35, and the GLA 250 for 22 model year. Pardon me. Erosion in U.S. consumers' automotive brand loyalty halted in the first half of 2023. According to S&P Global Mobility, industry's brand loyalty rate was 50.6% in the first half, unchanged from the same period in 2022. And despite a 7% increase in the volume of consumers who returned to market in the period overall, according to an analysis of new vehicle registration data by S&P Global Mobility. Brand loyalty rates, 54.7% through the first half of 2019, and increased slightly to 54.8%. Tesla nameplates have high consumer retention rates, but the Model 3 sedan is a leader with more than 74% of its returning customers remaining loyal to the brand.
Wow. That's quite a bit.
Usually bumping up and buying the Model Y crossover. Brand loyalty rates for Buick and Land Rover rose by more than 10 percentage points, putting them among the highest year-over-year gainers. Leaders in model loyalty included the Ford F-Series pickup, the Lincoln Nautilus crossover. There you
I
go.
like the Buick. I do.
Mars, this is for you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Becky, are you listening?
He's taking his headphones off. He's leaving.
Dream Girls Detroit, which bills itself as the Motor City's premier topless entertainment mecca,
Wait, let me write that down.
is admitting UAW members age 21 or older for free as long as the strike lasts.
Oh, wow.
The offer is worth as much as $55 depending on the day.
$55 to get in?
$55 depending on the day of the week and the time.
Bring your cover charge.
I'm telling you.
Free drink minimum.
Bring your picket stick.
While on strike, workers get no pay for the first week and then $500 a week from the union in lieu of their regular paychecks. Meanwhile, Ultra Cannabis is cutting prices by 25% for UAW
for
members.
some reason, I know where that's at. Dude.
I'm just thinking, if you could work out a deal, if they were having lunch at the first place.
Yeah.
And then get high before you go.
No. You go to the cannabis, and then you go for lunch.
That's what I'm saying, you can work it out to where it's a package deal.
It's like having Girl Scouts sell cookies out in front of them.
There you go.
Another dispensary, the Greenhouse of Walled Lake, is giving them half off. Michigan legalized recreational marijuana use in 2018 through a voter-approved referendum.
It's 55 to get in, but 500 to get out.
Yeah, out of jail. Oh, God.
So you can go stand there on the picket sign and wonder, what the hell am I doing here?
Exactly. I'm hungry.
Yeah. And then DoorDash for
There you go. Uber food.
for wings
Uber
and
Eats.
beer.
They've been handing out Doritos.
All 85 scholarship players on the University of Utah's football team are getting a Ram 1500 Bighorn pickup
Oh, wow.
to drive in one of the largest marketing deals with college athletes since such arrangements became allowed 2 years ago. The deal is worth about $6 million, including insurance. The organization has raised about half that since May and aims to have the rest of it by December. The $61,000 trucks are being leased through Ken Garf Automotive Group, which can then sell them to retail customers after a year. Players returning to the team each year would then get new trucks as long as the deal continues. Garf, who chairs the Crimson Collective Board, led the project in partnership with FTW 360, the creator of Utah Athletics' new streaming app. Each truck is wrapped with an ad for the app. Mars, there is our new marketing plan. Many members of the Garf family, including founder Ken Garf, are Utah alumni.
And Ken Garf has got stores here in the Houston market.
It's a large.
Quite a few of them
large-
here in the Houston market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, which high school or junior high could we get to? 'Cause
No,
we
I
can't get to
think this is
university.
college, but I don't. But even that, I'm not sure I'd want to drive one of those trucks after those boys have
Yeah.
had.
Well,
What'd
you
you
get
say?
the AI camera, and you'll be okay.
Well, there you go. There's that.
Don't
Only if you could watch.
You would.
He had to go there,
He
ladies and
did.
He
gentlemen.
always does.
speak of munchies.
About 39% of parts suppliers surveyed by the Motor and Equipment Manufacturers Association this week said they have laid off workers because of the UAW strike against the Detroit Three. That's a higher figure than the association reported in its previous survey 2 weeks ago, when around 30% of respondents said they were forced to lay off workers. It's unclear if the layoffs are limited to the U.S. So the strike is affecting everybody across the board on all of the suppliers. And remember, car manufacturers are really car assemblers. They don't make anything for the most part. There is an exception to the rule throughout the industry, one being the Toyota manufacturing plant, I think it's in northern Mississippi, that they actually stamp their own parts.
Ford
body.
still did some of
Yeah, I
that.
think there's a lot of stamping still goes on at different assembly plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
think
So,
so.
at anyway, so there's the exception to the rule on that. And let's see. Do I want to get this?
You got about a
in?
minute.
Yeah, I know. So let me do this. There's been a Texas-sized Holden Lexus lineup for a very long time, according to the brand and its dealers, when the aptly named Lexus TX crossover considered it officially plugged now. Not only will the TX be the largest Lexus on sale globally as it begins to arrive in dealerships this month, but it's also intended to attract and keep younger buyers as their families grow and they need to carry more and more passengers.
And while the UAW is on strike and you can't buy a Suburban or an Expedition, you can go get a Lexus
Yeah.
TX.
So there's that.
Well, they had that at Constellation Field, the Lexus event. It was going on right now. Well, it was all week.
Yeah. 24 Lexus TX will come in 3 trims, standard, premium, and luxury, and 3 powertrains. 2.4-liter turbo gasoline that is going to get 275 horsepower. The 2.4-liter inline-4 produces 366 horsepower, and the 550H Plus plug-in hybrid, it's going to get 406 horsepower. So there's something to look forward to if you're a Lexus fan.
It's about
Okay.
the size of a Tahoe.
Quick break now. We'll be right back. You're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thanks for being with us today. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Houston's finest cars are invited to another Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, and you're invited too. Show off your personal pride and joy, or just stop in to see the likes of Lucid, Lamborghini, Porsche, Ferrari, and more. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your one-stop shop for paint detailing, coatings, window tint, clear bras, and wheel repair. The Car Social is your opportunity to get a tour of this state-of-the-art facility, located at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. It all takes place Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon. This is the perfect opportunity to connect with other car enthusiasts. From BMWs to Bentleys, Corvettes to McLarens, the Car Social is a different kind of show. Talk to the owners. See Gulf Coast Auto Shield's facility. You'll be amazed. Put it on your calendar now. The Gulf Coast Auto Shield Car Social, Saturday, December 2nd, 9 to noon at 11275 South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. We'll see you then.
Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance has the absolute best price that you're going to find on GM parts, transmissions, and engines in the country. With the largest inventory as well that you're going to find in the U.S., Rogers Dabbs Chevrolet and GM Performance has what you need and has the best customer service to back it up. Contact one of our Texas team members for quotes and get that on your dock or at your front door as soon as possible. Rogers Dabbs GM Performance. Best inventory, best prices that you're going to find in the United States. Rogers Dabbs GM Performance.